My name is Evroul Beckman. I'm 93 and a half years old. I was born in a house here in Ossian, and those years in 1931, women didn't go to the hospital to have a baby. They had them at home. The doctor come, and the house I was born in is that house right just south of that old brick church. My folks lived upstairs in that house, and the doctor apparently come and delivered me up there in that bedroom. From there on, it was, get going, Evroul. You're here now.
And what year did you start with your dad?
I think January 1st of 49. And then I graduated from high school that May or June of 49.
Okay.
So then I just stayed at home there and helped him at the gas station. While I'm working there, I bought my first car, a 1948 Chevy, four-door, two-tone green. And it had a nice sun visor on. I bought that from Fosaaen in Postville. Yeah, that's where I bought that.
How come you didn't buy it at Figgy's down the street?
At that time, I was working for Walter Witt at the livestock barn out there, and I was driving one of three semis. So almost every night I'd take a semi-load of hogs from Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh.
As I went through Postville, I always seen that nice 48 Chevy there with the sun visor. And I stopped there and talked about it and ended up buying it then. Then I used that to go to dances in Spillville. And that's where I met my wife, Germaine. And we danced and danced and danced.
So you met Germaine in Spillville at the Inwood, correct?
Yep.
And how long did you date before you proposed to her?
I probably did before I went over to Japan. It probably did, because I was on leave, and I wanted her to wait for me. And she did. But she worked at Huber's, and she had a good job there. And that didn't stop her from going to dances, but she still waited.
Did you go to the Inwood a lot to dance?
Maybe once a week, yeah.
Oh, man.
I had to do something about the draft, so I enlisted into the Air Force for 4 years rather than wait for the Army to draft me.
Right.
Because I thought the Air Force was a safer place to be.
Yeah.
Which it turned out it really was, because I wasn't on no front lines. And I spent several months here in the States. They sent me to San Antonio, Texas for basic training, and then they sent me to Chicago to a school there. And then I went home for a little furlough, and then I went to Long Beach, California, and then to Burbank, California, and then from there I spent the whole month on a ship that was really slow going to Japan. And then when I got to Japan, I spent the rest of the 2 years over there at Yokota Air Force Base. I actually attended to 3 portable generators on two-wheel trailer type 4-cylinder generators to run their motion picture processing machines.
Oh.
They had a 35 millimeter processing machine that our comrades would fly over the front lines in the Korean War and take pictures and bring it back to Yokota, and it was processed there, but they had to have 60 cycle current there because all the current in Japan is 50 cycle current. So my job was to keep those 2 generators running all day at 60 cycles. What happened one day is I forgot to check the gas in the one generator, and I had a nice motorcycle over there. And I went down to the mess hall, which is kind of on the other end of the base, to eat dinner. And while I'm down there eating dinner, the one generator ran out of gas. And to my luck, the guy that was operating the machine in the barracks there knew how to switch it over to the one that was a spare there. In case one quit, they could switch it over, And I was supposed to do that. And then I ended up in a photography squadron where all my buddies were either motion picture photographers or still photographers or photographers that flew in the airplane to the front lines and shot pictures, and that brought it back to Yokota then for processing.
So that's where you got your love of photography.
Yeah, because they talk photography and Evroul, you should get a nice camera. And they told me what to get.
Yeah.
Rolleiflex was supposed to be the best.
Sure.
Ended up I got an Icoflex, which is just like a Rolleiflex, got the same pretty much every features, except it's called a Rolleiflex.
You suppose, Evroul, they wanted you on those generators because of your background working at the gas station with your dad?
Oh, definitely.
Sure. So when you came back after the service and you came back to Ossian, you went right back into working at your dad's station?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Went right back to the gas station. It seemed like I pulled in so much traffic working there in the shop, and then one day a guy stopped that was a Western Auto representative, and he said, "You should get hooked up with Western Auto with all the batteries and tires you're selling here."
Yeah.
And I did. I got to selling so much Western Auto stuff, they said I should get uptown in a store.
Oh.
And I did rent the store then where Don Wessel's was, right next to the Security State Bank, Fidelity now.
Right.
I was there
That's
a
the
number of
same.
years, and the reason I left there is Western Auto wasn't keeping up with our dealers' orders. They were kind of slipping too, and my shop there was too small and no hoist, so I bought that Figgy building down the street then, because that was empty, and I put a whole new front in it and a new hoist in the side building there. I had actually had 75-foot front there. So and while I'm doing this, I found a nice used Ace Hardware sign, all lit up, that would fit across the whole front there.
Okay.
So I have 2 franchises for a while.
Really? Wow.
But then Western Auto kind of quit. They went out of business. So then I was strictly Ace Hardware.
Let's go back a little ways. What made your dad decide to get into the gas station and service station?
We moved south of town to a farm that came up for rent, and that was, I think, only 80 acres, which was quite small. So my dad had a farm sale and then bought this gas station, Texaco station, because Otto Holder had Card Bartholomew, or Leo Bartholomew, was the delivery man for the gas. He had them big tanks out there near the dump out there,
right.
like by the railroad tracks there.
Right.
That's where them tanks were filled out there, and then he'd go out there and fill his gas truck and bring it to our tanks there at the store.
Sure.
But while we were there, we had to put in 2 more pumps and tanks, because first of all, when we got the station, there was only two pumps, a high test and a regular. And we had so much traffic there, people wouldn't stop because it was all plugged up. And then we had a nice overhead light on the other new port there, which was right ahead of our lawn there.
Right.
And,
I remember that.
and then we had a big area cemented out where people could park cars that needed fixing, and that would be on our lawn then.
Sure.
Up it was on cement.
Well, you didn't have far to walk to work, did you?
No, I guess not. No.
Which is good and bad.
Yeah. Tremaine and I lived upstairs in that big house behind the station there,
Yep.
and my folks lived downstairs.
Other entertainment in town? Was there any dances in town? Usually.
Oh, at the KC Hall there.
KC,
Yeah.
yep. And those
Yeah.
were usually wedding dances then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there was some entertainment.
Some, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But otherwise it was work.
Yep. But at least always could have a cold beer.
What was your favorite beer back in the day?
Oh, let's see. Pabst Blue Ribbon. Yeah, yeah. I think that's the one. Yeah.
And speaking
Yeah.
about beer, there used to be quite a few taverns in town.
Oh, you bet. Yeah. Statsky's and Leonard Schrader up there where Bambino's is now. See, who was there then yet?
Probably back in the day it was Riley's.
Oh, that could be.
Remember
Yeah.
that? You were on the fire department for how many years?
Oh, yeah.
Quite a few years.
Yeah. It's quite a few years.
Was it the Schmidt's Furniture Store that was one of the events you remember the most? And your store was right next to that building, correct?
Yes. Right. I was right next door to that.
Boy, that was a nerve-wracking time.
Yeah.
And you battled that fire all night too, didn't you?
I just had borrowed a lot of money to put merchandise in there, and I didn't want to get that fire over in there.
Right.
'Cause I know I had a brand new pickup, and I had that backed into the basement there. And when I got up there with the fire truck, I thought, boy, I better get that pickup out of there. And I got in the pickup, run, didn't start. So much smoke in the basement, I just kept cranking away, and it finally started. It was getting enough fresh air with the door open there.
Yep.
What year was that truck?
I had 63, and what was the other one?
98.
That's nice that you're doing this. For the history of Ossian, Iowa.